Hello, everybody. How are y'all today? Woo! Look at that chat. It blew up.
Excited. How are
Ye-
y'all today? Isn't it a beautiful day?
Yes, and if that music didn't get you hopping, I don't know what won't. Goodness.
Ain't no smoke happy or nothing.
That's right. Hello, Laura and Pat Cray. Sharon
Hello, Jean.
Sharon. Miss Candy is still with us. And
Hello,
there's
Candy.
Mary.
Laura,
And
Jeannie T, and
Gwen.
Craig.
And there's Wicked Granny.
Oh, and
Simply
there's
Sarah.
Mary, the Donnie Elephant. Thank you, Miss Candy.
DT.
Hey, Tracy, Miss Hot Tea. Woo-hoo.
Oh, Rita, sweetheart, I'm so sorry you have a migraine, but thank you so much to be here for being
Mm,
here.
yes, thank you so
Oh,
much.
and yes, she's saying, y'all, please remember to hit those thumbs as you're coming in because it sure does help Connie's channel.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. If you would, please.
And there is our Amy and Carrie. Thank you, Carrie, for the elephant stampede. And Miss Tracy. Oh my goodness, how are you, sweetheart? We are so happy y'all are here to visit with us today. We really do appreciate it.
Definitely.
So, I know you've been asked this before, but how is your weather where you're at?
What you drinking, what you working on.
That's right. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. This
Where
is
the snow.
a wig to go
Oh,
on my little
wow.
Sophie doll for my granddaughter, Bryn. So,
Boy, that's some hair there, boy.
it, and I'm not even finished yet. I've got to do this round, which has about 17 pieces on it, and then I've got one more round of 9 pieces. And then I'll be ready to stick it on the head. So, yes, lots and lots of little curly cues here going on.
Well, I'd hate to have to comb that out after working it every night. Oops. I'm afraid that'd just be, no.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
a little bit too much.
Right.
Well, I think Carrie kind of sort of let it slip what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
But this is as far as it's got. So I can't show you the part that I'm working on, but I can show you what is going in.
Oh, cool. Isn't that cute? Hello, Nana Kathleen. Thank you for stampeding on over here. We appreciate it.
It's a gator, alligator,
Isn't
and he's
it
got
cute?
toes. He's got toes. Look at toes, bro.
Yes, look at his little toes. How many
And
toes
I'm
did you
gonna make a
say he had?
leg, a foot, and a leg, and hopefully a piece of bone, and I'm gonna put it right there. Put it in
That's going
right.
to be creepy, but still funny. Let's see.
It's
Mary
for my
says
husband.
it is 56 degrees and she's drinking Dr. Pepper. Amy
That's for my
says
husband.
it's 14 degrees right now and she's working on finishing up a dog fillet baby blanket. Yes, Rita
Wow.
also says, wow, fantastic.
It's for my husband. It's just you know how they are.
Yeah.
Is that mine? No. When you gonna make me something?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So he's from Louisiana. So I thought, what's a good thing to make him for him? Just him. Alligator.
There you go.
So that's where that came from.
That's cool. Pat
But
Cray is drinking hot coffee. It's partly cloudy in the 60s, and she's working on the blanket and shawls for the veterans and their wives. Oh, now
wow.
there you go, Pat.
There you go. There you go. Somebody, hallelujah, has thought of the wives.
And there you go. I love the idea of you giving the shawls to the veterans' wives. That is going to be awesome.
That's nice. Very nice.
Oh, Crystal, she says her allergies are already starting to shrug. Oh no, she's not. They've already started,
Granny.
so she's shrugging.
Thank you, Wicked Granny. I love the gator. I think it come out cute.
Yes, I do too. Nana Kathleen says she played with that gator.
Well, it's just for fun, just for
Right.
it's not nothing
Mm-hmm.
big, and he don't care what he looks like, honestly, and he probably won't care that he got it, but I can say I made him something, so you know what I
There
mean.
you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But besides that, we're going to talk today about how do your craft products hold up for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
How do your hooks hold up? What kind of hooks do you like? What kind do you use, Maureen?
Well, I'm a Bates girl, always have been. But
Mhm.
I have been gifted with still haven't found out who gave them to me, folks. So as I said in my little video, I know nobody has fessed up. I'm just going to say thank you, whoever it was. Uh, I've been gifted with these beautiful wooden divot, I guess is how you would say it. Divot ship wooden crochet hooks. I have nearly a full set. I just like the F hook, which I just found out today that I can send one of them back, even though it was a gift, and I can ask them to replace it. So that's what I'm going to
Really?
do.
That's cool.
And
That
then I
is cool.
treated myself to one whole set, except for two, of the furl metal streamlines.
Mm.
I did that for
Oh,
myself.
here we go. Here we go. I
I
want to see
told
this.
my husband that this was my birthday, Christmas, anniversary.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I only lacked two that I wasn't able to get, but
Pull
that's
one of them
okay.
bad boys out. Show them to me. Show it
Oh,
to us.
well, let me show you one that'll really. This one is an N,
Ooh,
but I love it because here we go.
so pretty.
Look at that. It's got the Bates head on it. And that's the reason why I wanted them.
I
So,
love pearls.
yeah. And they're very lightweight. I was very surprised about that. So,
Oh, we could. Granny's got some of the divot hooks.
oh, do you? Do you like them? She says, I love them. Well, I haven't used them yet because I'm finishing up some projects that I'm already using, my
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, your regular hook.
yeah,
Yeah.
my regular hooks. And so as soon as I start a new project, I'm going to try both of these. But those
Hmm.
wooden ones are extremely light. And I was surprised at how light these aluminums are from. Okay, wait a minute. The wood ones are extremely light. Um, and these are a said wood and resin blend. So I'm sure
Uh-huh.
that that's what makes it real light. But
Probably.
the metal ones, I expected them to be a little heavier than they are, but they're not very heavy at all. So,
Well, somebody said they're hollow on the inside. I don't
right,
know.
right. But I still
I,
expected them to have a little more weight to them than these.
well, the Odysseys do the ones like this. They're
Uh-huh,
they're heavy. They're very heavy.
right,
In here, you can feel that it's heavy, and
right,
the head of them are very heavy, very heavy. They're
right.
not in the least little bit lightweight. I'm sorry, but they're not, and I
Yeah,
love it. I love how it feels. I love how it crochets. But as far as they're not light. No way they are. No way.
yeah,
So you would expect the solid metal to be
right,
heavier. Yeah.
yeah. Crystal says, as a pencil holder, I'm not a fan of furls or similarly fat handled hooks for the knife hand roll. They hurt my hands, and I guess you were trying to say they're awkward. Well, I sat there and played with both the wooden and the furls when I first got them, just with some yarn. I did some crocheting to see how I was going to like it. But see, with my Bates hook, even though it's got this divot here, uh, I crochet way up on the shaft of the handle, so it doesn't matter to me that these don't have it for number one, and I didn't find any problem with being a
Yeah.
pencil holder
Yeah.
holding those. So, like I
Well,
said,
I'm a knife holder too, so I can't. I can't. I can't do the pencil. I've tried. It just
Oh, I
won't
have
work with me.
to.
It just
Oh, I
won't
have
work with me.
to.
Yeah,
I
I
have
can't
to.
do it. I can't do it. But now I started out on boy. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I ever used. When I finally got back into crocheting, had my grandmother's hook, which was a boy, by the
Yeah.
way. That's all I had was her hook, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
small one. And my husband at the time, I asked him, I told him, I said, if I'm going to crochet, I've got to have some hooks. I
Right.
can't use just this little bitty one. I've got to have some more, regular, everyday size.
Right.
And he said, well, we'll go and find you a whole set. We'll just get the whole thing and be done. And I was like, okay, well, let me tell you, when we went to looking, they was $high things.
Right.
And I was like, I can't give this for that. I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
So then we run up on the boy set at Walmart, of all places. And that's where it come from, was Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in a little pink case that zips up.
Right.
This side had the from a B up to a K, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And on the other side were the little bitty steel hooks that you
Right.
used to make doilies and whatnot. Well, I had the whole kit and caboodle. I didn't need nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I used for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And then one of the Zumi sisters gifted me with the Clover of Mowers. I've never used anything but boy until I picked these up. And I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love them. They're shaped just right. They hold out really well. I was afraid this rubber stuff would go to slipping,
Yeah.
but it don't.
Well,
It
that's
stays right
good.
where it's supposed to. It don't move. But it fits my hand just right because I am a knife. I've
Mm-hmm.
tried to do it like this, and I can't do it. I mean,
And
I just
see, I'm
can't.
the other way around. I can't do
I'm
the
just
knife. I can't do the knife.
and all I do is this. I don't twist my wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Not very much. I turn my thumb.
Yeah, see, I think that's the reason why I can't do this because I'm a wrist turner.
Yeah.
I do a
Well,
lot of
this
mhm.
hand is doing a lot for me.
Right.
You know, when I'm crocheting, I'm holding my yarn with this hand.
Mm-hmm.
This hook does what it's gonna do, and I'm turning it with my thumb.
Right.
Whoop, about pulled it out. And then this is doing the most of it. If I can
Right.
move my work to make this hand easier, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
But I've used furls as well. I've used like I said, the Odyssey. I love
Mm-hmm.
this one. This is the only one I own, and I want it. Is the only reason I have it because I can afford these things. But I love it. I love how it fits my hand. I love how it crochets the whole
Mm-hmm.
9 yards. So that began my obsession. I love them. I love them. Not, and they're beautiful. Let me tell you, just
Yes.
beautiful. But they crochet so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is my favorite of all the hooks I have.
Right.
This type is my favorite. But I can still use the bowie, and I can still use the Clover or mower.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
Yeah.
not that it's not the head of it because it's the yarn to
Mm-hmm.
me. I
That's
can use
right.
the same yarn on every hook and only one of them will work.
Right.
The same yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can turn right around and use a different yarn, and that one won't work. I'll have to change to another kind. And
Right.
it makes a big difference. People
It
don't,
does.
if you haven't tried it, you don't realize how much the hook makes a difference. And it's not because your yarn is splitty. It's not
Mm-mm.
because it's grabby. It's not because it's slippery. It's the hook.
Right.
Try a different type hook, not
Mm-hmm.
size, a
Yeah.
different type. If you're using the Clover or more, try a boy with it.
Yeah.
If you're using a boy, try the Clovers or Susan Bates or the Hobby Lobby brand. They have a
Yeah.
brand. Try furls if you've got one. but
Mm-hmm.
use the same size, but just try a different brand.
Yeah.
But most of the hooks that I have lasted forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've bought all kinds of extras. We do
Mm-hmm.
that. We get 14 J's so we can throw
Right.
one in each project bag. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Or
Yep.
I or H or whatever. But they're all the same. Most of the time, you've got a favorite
Right.
type hook. So you're going to get one to go in each bag so it's there when you get ready to work with it.
Mm-hmm.
You grab a bag on the go out the door, and if you don't already have what you need in it, then you might not have it when you get to the car.
That's right.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But hooks, I've never had any problem with hooks wearing
Right.
out. But now I haven't had these gorgeous resin hooks very long. This one is a size G and it's very small.
Mm-hmm.
That's tiny, folks.
Right.
Let me get my camera. That's tiny. And the neck of it is so slim. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost scared of it. And
Yep.
I know if I dropped it, it would break.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it would anyway. If it hit just right on the head, I'm afraid it would break. And of course,
Right.
girls will replace them, but that's not the point. I
Nope.
don't want to break it. I
Nope.
don't want to have
Nope.
to do without it. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
have to replace it. So we buy things that last.
Right.
So, how about yarn, Maureen? What kind of yarn do you use and how does it last?
Well, first, I've only had two sets of Susan Bates.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
Yes.
I mean,
Tell me about that.
full sets.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I've had several J's and H and I's because that's all I
Yeah, that's a
worked
standard.
with for a while,
Yeah. Yeah.
But one year for Christmas, my kids bought me a whole brand new set. But I haven't worn a hook out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Of course, they're aluminum, so really they
Uh-huh.
shouldn't. You would think, though, over time, the tip here going into the yarn all the time that
Mm-hmm.
it would
Or where you
wear
put
out.
your
But
thumb on
mm-hmm,
the thumb rest. You'd think you'd rub the name off of them,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Um, and I grew up on Red Heart.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and
Me too.
that's really all I used for many, many, many years. It hasn't been, but probably in the last 10 that I ventured out to others.
Uh-huh.
Now, I am a big fan of Hobby Lobbies. I love this yarn.
Oh,
Um,
we all. Oh,
I love Premier Yarns. I
uh-huh.
love my mandalas. I mean,
Oh, I do too. I
I
do
love
too.
that mandala yarn. I mean, I really, really, really do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Even if it is line brand, which we'll discuss
yeah,
in a moment. We
yeah,
will discuss that in a moment.
yeah, yeah.
Go
Several
ahead,
folks are
Maureen.
saying that they have, and yes, Tiffany, there are
Sorry.
boy fans out there and they don't like the Bates, and there are Bates people out there that don't like the boys. And it's really funny when I started teaching my daughter, and then of course my mother-in-law had to teach her because Heather's left-handed. Um, Heather prefers the boys. I mean, it's just really, really funny. She doesn't like the tip. She says to her it feels grabby when she's working with the Bates. And me, I don't feel like the tension of my stitches. I don't like the look of my stitches whenever I'm working with a boy. I don't know
There's
what
a
it
difference.
is. Yeah,
There
there
is
is a
a
difference.
difference.
And it's not the tension, it's just the look of the stitch itself. I just don't
Uh-huh.
like it. So,
Well, a lot of that is the hook itself.
yeah,
Not necessarily the yarn, it's the hook.
right,
But there are yarns that there's a big difference between how the stitches lay, how it works up, the definition of the stitches,
right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a difference in that. And hey, Dance 87, I cannot remember the channel, so you'll have to forgive me and give me just a little hint because I lost my mind many, many years ago and it didn't work back then. So you got to help me a little bit.
Leslie asked, when did furls start with the jumbo hooks? I think it just looks jumbo because I had it way up here. But yeah, the N and the K hook look really, really
They're pretty
big.
big.
But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
got
they're big
a.
anyway, but in the middle, they
This
really
is
do look
K.
big.
It doesn't look necessarily that big
Mm-hmm.
unless you put it right up close.
Right.
But that's a K. That's size K.
Divergent
That's the
says
bigger
she
one
likes
is out of
the
size.
clover hooks and the clover knockoffs. Michelle came in. Hello, sweetheart. Wicked Granny says that she has a set of Prim hooks.
Yes, I think that's the Hobby Lobby brand they
Is it?
carry.
Okay.
I think it is. Somebody's is anyway. It kind of looks like the. I want to say they kind of look like the Clover and More, except for in here they have a pattern, like a
Oh.
crisscross,
Uh-huh.
like that. You
Okay.
know, it's like a mesh looking
Okay.
design on it. But
Okay.
I think they. I know they're all different colors, but now I'm and they're ergonomic, but I'm not sure what type of head it has on it.
Right. And Tiffany came in. Hello, sweetheart. And there's Catbird and Nan from Nan's Next Knots. Dancer
And no,
87. Okay.
I hadn't done anything different with it. I just hadn't got it pulled up today. See, it's usually pulled back like this.
Pat Cray
That
says, when I started crocheting, I bought a cheap set from Walmart, but I love the set that I bought through Amazon called Yarnus. Why, yeah. These crochet hooks are ergonomic. And there's our little Carrie. Says, I'm late, but did you change your hair? Okay, that's what you were answering.
yeah. And Dance 87, yes, my flag is real. Thank you.
I want to know if it
Yes.
was a Nazi flag. No, it's not a Nazi flag.
No, it is not. It has never been, nor will it ever be. It does not stand for anything that the Nazis believed in, and neither do I.
Right.
And if that's what you want to discuss, I'm afraid you'll have to go to somewhere else because we don't discuss that here.
That is Confederate flag.
Hey,
That's
Kathy Angel
right.
Cross. I'm so glad to see you in here again. How are you doing, honey?
How are you, Cafe Angel? Love that you're here.
Yes,
Right.
Kathleen. It's a
That's what it
Confederate
is.
flag.
That's what it is.
I'm from the South.
Yep.
The Confederate flag. That's
Yep.
part
Yep.
of me and my history. I
Yep.
have ancestors that were in the Civil War. I am a
We do
daughter of the
too.
Confederacy.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Dance 87. Did I ever know you? Your real name? I don't remember.
Pat Cray says, I cannot afford the furl hooks, but she loves the line brand Ferris wheel, Mandela ombre, Premier sweet roll, and frosty yarn.
Yes. Back to the discussion. All I ever had was Red Heart. That's what my
Mm-hmm.
grandmother had when she began crocheting. And she
Right.
began when I was a little girl, like 5
Right.
or 6 maybe. And she had began crocheting. Her oldest daughter taught her. Her oldest daughter knew how to tat and
Oh,
crochet and all that. I mean, she
man,
did
that's something I wished I could do.
amazing stuff. But she taught my grandmother how to crochet
Oh,
to
wow.
help her stop smoking,
Mm.
to have something to do with her hand. So when she began, all they had was the old Red Heart. I
Right.
mean, back when Red Heart was Red Heart, it
That's
wasn't
right.
nobody but
Mm-hmm.
Red Heart.
Yep.
And even had Woolworths and something else. I can't remember. One of the local stores real close. What was it? Anyway, that's all they had, and they were rough and they
Mm-hmm.
were tough, and
Yep.
they stood the test of time.
That's right.
And once you washed them, they got real soft,
Right.
and they still do. Red
Mm-hmm.
Heart still does,
Right.
but It's not as easy to crochet with as other yarns are.
No,
It's
but
stiffer. It's tougher, but it's
mm-hmm,
the best bargain you can get for your money, and it does soften when you wash it.
that's
It
right.
does hold up over time. A lot of yarns that start stiff, you wash them, they get soft. The second time you wash them, they got little BBs all over them,
Yeah,
which you can get off. You use a little shaving razor and knock them off. It's
yeah,
no problem. But it's a pain in the behind to have to do that. Some
mm-hmm,
yarns don't do it. Some do. There's a there's a trade off you get there. You have inexpensive, washing it get soft, makes BBs.
right.
Then you have more expensive. It's soft when you start, soft when you wash it,
No
and
BBs.
it's BBs. You can get both of the same thing, whether or
Mm-hmm,
not you're paying good money or not. You can still get BBs in it.
right.
And there's yarn that you use that's nice in the beginning, nice when you wash it, lasts 40 forevers, no BB,
Yeah,
but you're gonna pay for it.
that's
It's
right.
not Walmart quality. We'll
Right.
say that. You're gonna pay for it.
I
But
agree
at
with
the
Pat
same
Cray.
time, I'm sorry,
I Go ahead.
at the same time, when you pay for it, you expect it
Mm-hmm.
to be soft when you're using it,
Right.
not split, not have knots. There's a lot that goes in with it when you're buying it, before you ever start working with it, that you have in mind as a general rule. When you spend good money on yarn, you don't want it splitty. You don't want it to have knots in it. You want it to be color safe. Mm?
Yep.
You want it to be washable and dryable.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, washable. You don't
Right.
want something you got to hand wash every time, especially if it's a big blanket. Now, I don't make many wearables. I have before. I don't make a lot of them because, well, I don't have anybody to give them to, and I'm too hot natured to wear them. So
Mm-hmm.
most of what I make is blankets and throws and things of that nature, shawls. But if I make it and it's not color fast, if I've got to hand wash that booger every time, you better believe it's going to stay in the closet. It ain't going to get washed because I'm not going to hand wash something that fades every time I wash it. I'm not going
Yeah.
to fool it, you know. And it's got to be lasting. If you
Mm-hmm.
pay good money on for something and you get it and it's full of knots,
Yeah.
you're
Oh
not going
man,
to get
that
it
just
anymore.
drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're just not going to get it anymore.
Mm-mm.
If you
Nope.
get it and it's splitty, you can't work with it. You've changed your hook. You've changed the stitch you were using. You've changed everything you can to try to make it work if it's a splitty yarn and it
Mm-hmm.
still doesn't. You're not going to buy it anymore. You're going
Nope.
to say, man, that crap's hard to work with right there. I wouldn't get that if I was you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Word of mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you see for yourself that it's no good, you're not going to buy it anymore, and you're not going to make something out of it anymore.
And you're
It's
not going to
whether or
recommend it
not it
either.
makes it in the long haul. We all see brand new yarns and the beautiful colors and their sheen and their soft and their squishy, and ooh, we got the heavy, got the heavy, got the heavy. And then when you get it and it ain't worth the flip,
Yep.
you're not going to buy it no more.
Nope.
You know, is it good for the long haul?
Yeah.
And Red Heart has it has stood the test of time.
Yep.
It really has.
But I agree with Pat Cray. I also love the mainstay from
Yes.
Walmart.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's
They're stepping up on that one. They
oh
really
yeah,
are.
yeah.
On their cotton and their acrylic.
Oh yeah, both of them. Both of them.
Yes.
I think they're going to be a Walmart Red Heart. You know what I mean?
Oh
I really
no, no,
do.
no. They decided they were gonna be better than that when they first came out.
Oh
I'm
really?
sure they said that's something we're gonna have to beat. Because everybody knows Red Heart is stiff.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for making amigurumis because it does stand up.
Oh
You know,
yes.
if you're making a wearable for it, it's stiff. You ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
wear it till you wash it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be stiff. It's gonna be scratchy. You won't like it.
Right.
But when you wash it, It's just as soft as a cotton ball. So,
Coffee Angel says that she used the small steel hooks that her great grandmother used. Um,
mm,
I have
that's
my
what I had.
grandma's. I have my grandma's steel hooks, and there is one that is so worn right at the neck
Oh,
that
yes.
I'm afraid to
Almost
use it.
broke. Yeah. I,
I'm afraid if I because my I crochet so tight,
I
and
do
I'm
too.
afraid if I was to use it, I wouldn't get 2 or 3 rounds on a doily or something, and I'd just snap
It would
that thing in
break,
two.
and I would be heartbroken. Oh,
Oh yeah, most
I would. It would
definitely.
break my heart because that's all I got left of my grandmother, just about it. But
Mm-hmm.
and there again, your other products. What kind of scissors do you use? What do you use, Maureen?
I use Fiskars.
Fiskars.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do they stay sharp? Are they good for the
Um,
long haul?
yes, mine do because I threaten anybody within an inch of their life and even death if they pick up my scissors out of my uh, yarn box or my sewing box. I just tell them, hands
You're
off.
taking your life in your own hands. Get
That
them
is
scissors.
absolutely
What are you
right.
fixing to use them for? Don't you cut
Hmm.
no paper
Oh,
with
I
that.
don't even ask them what are they fixing to use them for. I'm just saying, those do not have your name on them. You put them back.
Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. I've got a pair of scissors. They are Fiskars, but they are from my sewing factory days. They're
Oh,
the big, heavy duty,
all
cut
metal.
denim blue jean scissors.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad sharpens them for me. When he does, he sharpens them on the grinder.
Oh,
And
wow.
they would shave a net behind.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't let anybody touch them. They stay in my sewing box.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're for, and nothing else.
Yep.
Nothing else. But now, there's different brands of scissors. I know
Mm-hmm.
there's Fiskars, and what was the others we were talking about? Froggy was telling us about several
Uh,
different kinds. You remember?
Westcott. Is that right? Westcott.
Oh Lordy, something like that. Yeah. Come
And
on, girls,
then
help us out. What's some names of some scissors? Somebody shout some out.
another one that starts with a G. Those are
Gerber,
high dollar.
Gerber,
No.
Grubber. Well, I know there's a lot of German names.
Yeah.
The Fiskars is a German name.
Yeah.
Um, I cannot remember. Let me look on my scissors here. See if they got a name too. Well, if I had my old lady glasses on, I could see it.
Mm.
Westcott.
Westcott. Yes.
West Westcott. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some that the doctor gave me. They ain't gonna have no name on them. Um,
Crystal says that she buys cheap embroidery scissors just in case they go bye bye. There's no worries there. I
yes,
understand. I understand.
yes. You
Uh,
can order them. I had a really, really good pair actually that came from my local parts store,
there you go, Crystal.
Guggenheim.
Guggenheim. That's right.
Guggenheim. Yes, I know that name as well. But now the pair that I bought from my parts store was in
Mm-hmm.
a little what do you call it? The little display cases that they have up
Right.
there under
Mm-hmm.
the counter, and they're foldable.
Oh.
You slide them together, and they're closed up, and they're nothing but the little holes where you put your fingers, so you
Mm-hmm.
can see. Well, you pull them apart, and when you pull them apart, the blades like this, they slide out, and
Uh-huh.
then when you push them together, they do this,
Oh, well,
and the
how
scissors,
neat.
they're sharp. I mean, they're sharp. I wish I
That's
had a
really
pair
pretty
laying right
cool.
here. I'd show them to you, but I don't. They're in the living room. I keep a pair in there in case I go in there and sit down on the recliner and start crocheting. I need a pair
Right.
of scissors. I just reach over there and get them and put them
Yeah.
back. That way I'm not losing a pair, losing
Mm-hmm.
my good
Right.
pair.
Right.
And what else do we use, folks? We don't just use hooks and scissors and yarn. What else do we use?
Well, we have our tapestry needles,
Mm,
and we have I'm sitting here trying to
I'm
think.
gonna put you on the spot. What have we got?
I
Come
have my
on, ladies.
I have my scissors and my hooks and my yarn and my tapestry needle,
Uh-huh.
stitch markers.
Yes, that's a good one. What kind of stitch marker do you like?
I like the one with the lever clasp.
Yep, the
Hmm.
Nova
Yeah,
Scotia.
yeah,
That's the best kind.
yeah.
What do you buy for everyday use? What do you get for everyday use? What do you grab?
A piece of string.
All right, piece of
Yeah,
yarn, throw
yep.
it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Scraps are free. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm. Ginger.
Let's see.
Yes,
And since
Ginger scissors are good scissors.
yes, they
We
are.
have a tape measure,
Mm-hmm. Ball winder.
ball winder. That's exactly right. We have stuffing to go in the
I was just
amigurumi.
getting ready to say it hadn't been until I started making amigurumi. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to keep fiber fill on hand.
Uh-huh. That's exactly right. And we have the plastic canvas. A lot of people do plastic canvas
Yeah,
with yarn, and
yeah,
they make beautiful, beautiful products.
yeah.
Beautiful products. Let's see, what else
Uh,
do we
Wicked
use?
Granny said she uses the little colorful plastic safety pins.
Yep,
I'm too
that's
hard on
one
those
I
things.
have.
I can break them like crazy.
That's what I use every day. One that looks like a little diaper pin.
Yep,
These came off of Amazon, I know, but these are not. They don't break. You see here? These don't
they're
break.
they're very
They're
flexible.
stretchy
Yeah.
because I've stretched them open a bunch of times to fit in my stitches where
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bitty stitch and it was open only about
Yeah.
that far. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That won't go in there. And I'm just like, and it,
Mm-hmm.
and it stays open. But that's what I use. And I've had the same one forever, you
Right.
know. But I love the lever back, the beautiful decorated,
Yes.
uh, different stones, the different
Yeah.
gems. Oh,
The
like, I
pretty.
mean, like this.
Yep. There you go.
This came from Victoria Fly. And they're beautiful. They were a gift, but
Mm-hmm.
they're delicate, and I'm afraid to lose them. I don't want to, I put them on my scissors. I keep them on my
Oh,
scissors.
there you go. Yeah.
And these scissors I use constant. They're pointy enough I can get in real close, and they're
Mm-hmm.
sharp as the devil because they came from my local doctor's office. She gave them to me. My doctor gave them to me. I didn't
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
nice.
I didn't swap them. She gave them to me. But that's where I keep my stitch markers is on my
Mm-hmm.
scissors, so I can see them every day. And I have worn them as earrings because they're pretty. They're
Oh, well,
really pretty.
yeah. Especially if
You know.
you've got matching pair.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I
Uh,
could get one of those plastic ones in there, but I'm afraid that might look real goofy.
right.
But
Sharon says, I got a nice hook case that has elastic loops to hold the hooks, pouches
yep,
for scissors and tape measure, and stitch markers, and a few 3x5 cards. Huh.
yep, yep,
One
yep,
has hat measurements on it.
yep. I use this to put my hooks in,
Right.
and it sits right
Uh,
here on the front of my desk. That's
in
what I
my
use.
in my
It's a basket
design bag
full.
over there, I have the thing, my whip card, you
Uh
know,
huh.
where you can figure out how many wound. Like if I
Yes,
have a,
like a ruler, but
yes.
it's different. Yep.
Hmm. Well, you can wrap it around, especially if you can't tell, is that a 4-weight, a 3-weight? What is that?
Exactly.
You know,
Yes. Exactly.
you can wrap it around, figure out how many wraps per inch, and then that'll tell you pretty close to what weight of
Oh
yarn
yeah.
you're playing with right there.
A lot of times better than that ball band ever thought about doing.
Yes.
I mean,
When
I
they tell
have.
you it's a 4 and it looks pretty close to a 3 to me.
Mm-hmm. What was the excellent idea for that DC came up with?
Let me go over
Or
here.
a whole bunch to accessorize pre-made items with crochet. I hadn't thought about that, but that would work.
Yep.
Really would. Yep. I've had like I said, I got the hook case that came with my boys when I bought it, but that's the only one that I have. I don't usually go anywhere because I'm disabled,
Right.
so I don't have to worry about taking my hooks out. And if I go somewhere, I make sure that the hook that I need is in my bag. So
Right.
because I'm usually going to be a while. If I take my crochet with me, I'm going to be a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to be 15 minutes. You better sit down with me for at least an hour if you want me to whoop out my crochet. It's going to be a little bit.
Pat Cray says she's been up since 3 a.m. and started working on a poncho, and she's using her roommate as a guinea pig.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's something that I need, not a guinea pig, but a model.
Yeah.
With one of the dress forms.
Yes.
That's what they call them. They stand on a stand, and they got the shoulders and the waist. And I need me one of them. I may make me one because they say you can sew one and stuff it, and it be the same thing.
Huh.
Like take a T-shirt,
Right.
close up the neck of it. Don't leave the neck hole open. Just close it up. Use another piece of material to cover it up, and then sew the sleeves closed, and just stuff that bad boy just as fat as you can get him, or as stiff as you want it. I'd say that. You don't want to stretch it out. You want something that's not going to stretch. Actually, better than a T-shirt. But you just stuff it, and then that's your size. That's just your size. And when you go to make something, you can put it on there and judge whether or not you're close. Because we've all held sweaters up to ourselves and said, I need just a little bit more on that sleeve, just a little more. It don't hang just right. And then when you get done making it, the thing hangs off the end of your hand about like that. Yeah, I've done that. All of y'all may not have, but I sure have. I've had some like this on, and I'd be like, where did that come from?
Or how did I misjudge that?
I didn't put that much on it. Where did that come from? And if you've got one of those models, you can just sit it up there and say, okay, there to there, that's perfect.
Right.
Hey, that's me. Then you're not going to mess it up. But they say you can do that. I haven't tried it, but I don't see why, if you tried on like a dress shirt, button-up down shirt, if you tried it on and it fit, you couldn't make one out of that because that material doesn't stretch like that.
Right. Yeah.
And when you just sew up the buttonhole, sew up the neck, stuff that bad boy, and you're good to go.
Yep.
But anyway, we were talking about the long haul. Here I am off on stuffing T-shirts. How many times have you ladies bought stuff? And I'm not talking about just gadgets from Amazon. I'm talking about anywhere. Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, anywhere. Have you bought gadgets? Got them home, worked with them one time, and they went.
Yeah.
How many times, ladies, has it happened to you? Buy a pom-pom maker.
Oh my goodness.
Or wherever. Real inexpensive. You think, okay, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
May not ever make one, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Get it home. You work up, wind it up. Just like it says to do. You're really going to have a big, fluffy, poofy pom-pom, and you take it apart, and it's like, poof, and the pom-pom's just perfect. And you're like, wow, that really does work. Go to make the second one, and it breaks.
Yep.
I mean, come on. That makes me so mad I could just spit. I mean, mad. Even if it wasn't but $1, it makes me mad because it broke.
Yep. Yes, they are, Crystal. She says she's not a fan of gadgets because most of them are a disappointment. That's absolutely right.
That's very true. Oh, and Crystal, yes, I've seen them do that with the duct tape. You can make a dress form out of duct tape. If you've got somebody that will help you, you put on a T-shirt, and then you duct tape it. I mean, all over you, from your neck to your waist.
Oh, my goodness.
Hold your arms out and just duct tape it. Then you take scissors and go up the back. You cut the T-shirt as well, but you go up the back and then you just peel it off of you, and then you have your dress form.
I'll be darned.
It works. It works. I've seen them do that. Sure have. I forgot about that.
Wicked Granny says, I can't afford to get gadgets. I don't even have a ball winder. I use my hands.
Well, a lot of people would rather use a ball of yarn than
Mm-hmm.
use a cake of
Yeah,
yarn. It's just whatever you're used to. When
that's
I first
right.
started out, that's all I had.
Yep,
Balls. You know, you sit and wind them just like this. Just
that's
put them
right.
in your hand and have at it. Just till you get done. That's
That's
what you had. And then if you didn't have a bowl to put them in or a basket or something, you run them all over the house trying to crochet with them because they'd roll plumb under the couch or back over
mm-hmm.
here under the chair and get hung up around the legs or something, and you're pulling in it.
Yep.
That's aggravating. But if you've got something to put them in, then you're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine. Nothing wrong with that. I do
Mm-mm.
that to all my scraps, all
Yep.
of them.
That's exactly what I do.
I've learned that you can take these and put them on a ball winder if you have one, and you could probably wind them up in a ball the same way, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tie on the ends all your little scraps, tie it and keep
Yeah.
winding till you get something big enough to use, and then just make a scrap blanket.
Yep.
Just use it till it's gone. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen some pretty ones. I've seen some really pretty ones.
Yep.
And that's a good way to use up little bitty leftover stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
My
or even
my
big stuff for that matter. Start out with a big ball of yarn, all the same color, one whole skein, and then slip all of them scraps in there in the
yep.
middle of it, and throw you another on the end of it, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. My
Yep.
daughter loves to take all my scraps and she makes granny squares. That's
Oh
one
yeah,
of
that
her.
too.
She just loves to sit down and just make granny squares. And when she's got enough, then I put them together because she doesn't like putting them together. She just likes making the squares. And I'm like, sweetheart, you get after it. And when we get enough squares, we just start making blankets. And
Yep, that's right. And it works. It uses
mm-hmm,
them up really, really fast, and then
it
you
sure
just
does.
place them wherever you want them. Then you make the colors come out however you want.
Mm-hmm.
But it is good to have a ball winder.
Oh, yeah.
It is good to have, because whether you use it from the inside or the outside, a cake does better performing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it sits on the table. It's not going to run off. It's right there
Mm-mm.
beside of you. If you pull from the outside, fine. You're not ever going to have yarn barb. It just goes.
Mm-hmm.
Pull from the inside occasionally. You can get yarn barb. That's
Yeah.
just the cost of living if you get it. If
Mm-hmm.
you go from the
Yeah.
inside, that's just the way it is. But you don't necessarily have to have a Swift, but they're nice if you do.
That's right.
They're very nice if you do.
Yeah.
I've tried it both ways, and the Swift makes life very, very much easier. But you don't have to have a $500 one. You
No.
can get a cheap one from Amazon that works just as good. If you're careful with it, you don't abuse it, use
Right.
it wrong, then it's going to last you a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And what else do we need, Maureen? I know you've got something on your mind. What else do we need for our crafts?
Well, I keep a journal
Yes,
of everything that I've made.
yes.
Especially if it's a pattern that I really like, whether it's my pattern or someone else's pattern,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
and make notes off to the side, like I added 3 more rows, or for this size,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that it called.
Didn't put that edge on it, used mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah, we all, especially once we find a pattern that we really like, we start playing with it a little bit to make it uniquely ours, or
Mm-hmm.
we change just enough of it to where you recognize it as so and so's pattern,
Uh-huh.
but you can
You
tell
changed
something's
it
been.
just enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
That you
because
like.
and especially if you're going to make the pattern to give as a gift, you want it to
Mm-hmm.
be something really special and have that little
Little
uh
extra touch. It's just
yeah,
you. Just that little
mhm,
bit of
that
you.
Maureen touch or that Connie touch, something that they can recognize that you put on there.
Just that little bit. And if you don't
Oh,
write it down, if you don't write it down in that journal
yeah,
or on a piece of paper somewhere, then
yeah,
you're gonna forget what you did. If
that's
you
right.
if you have whips, you better have it wrote down what it is, what hook you used, and what yarn you were using,
Yes,
because
especially if
you will
you,
not go back and remember
mm-mm.
3 or 4 months later. I mean, I don't care
Especially,
what kind of steel trap you got for a brain up here. You're not gonna remember it every time. You ain't
no,
gonna do
especially if you're limited on the, like you only have one J hook and
That's
you've got
right.
3 or 4 projects that are using that,
Hmm.
you need to have some kind of little note or something that says, I'm using this hook and I'm using this yarn, exactly like you said. Crystal said, ready for a dirty word?
Mm,
Blocking mats or towels and pins.
yes. And Pat Cray, you go on and you take care of yourself and your dogs. We love you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Wicked Granny says she's never blocked anything.
I
Um,
have blocked a couple of shawls,
mm-hmm,
and that's because they were very special gifts. They
mm-hmm,
weren't something that one of them was a gift for a lady that her mother had passed away. And one of them was a gift from my mom on her birthday. That's the only two I have ever blocked. But now I do believe in blocking. If you want your stitches to show up, if you
right.
want it to look extra special,
Yeah,
block your work. But I have never done it. I have blocking mats
yeah.
and I have pins, but I don't use them
Well,
hardly ever.
I love making doilies, and so I block those all the time. And
Yeah, I
uh,
use.
before I will put granny squares together, I will block those so I have the nice,
Oh,
corners
good
on
square
them.
edge.
Yeah, the
Yes,
good square
yes.
edges. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
see, there again, you're making it look nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's for pulling the stitches out to be what they should be,
yeah.
or just making the product look finished,
Right.
making it look professional. And
Mm-hmm.
it does do that. Now, nobody can deny that. If
Mm-mm.
you block your product and do it correctly, it looks professional. It's better than anything you can go buy in the store. Come on, girls. When it's homemade, now, come on. Lynette, I know you know what I'm talking about. When you
Mm-hmm.
make something for your kids or whatever, you can do a good job. You can finish it up. Oh, I mean, perfect crocheting, whatever you're doing. But if you don't finish that last little bit, it does not look
Nope.
professional.
That's right.
It just doesn't. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't. You can take that extra few minutes, do your blocking or do your starching or do
Yeah,
your steaming or whatever it is you choose to do. And it looks better than anything you could get in the store. It
that's
really
right.
does.
Yep. Yep. Just that
So,
little bit of extra work.
yep,
Yeah.
shows in the end. It really does. And that is the long haul. You
Yeah.
know, you've got to look at it from start to finish. You got to put in for the long haul. Make sure your products are going to work for you in the
Right.
long haul. You have to make sure that the tools you use are going to hold up for the long haul.
Yeah.
And as crocheters, we find that out sometimes the hard way. Our yarny communities help us. They really
Mm-hmm.
do. Lord knows I love all mine. Oh, better than my sister sometimes. But don't tell her I said that. Now, we find out from our friends. They'll say,
Right.
I love this yarn. You need to try it. It's the best thing ever was. But that don't mean it's going to be good for you.
Mm-mm.
You have to try it yourself.
Yep.
But that's the long haul. So we've been almost time here already, Maureen. It sure
I
does fly when you're having
know. I
fun.
know. I know. And I'm really
I'm already
glad
just
that
about gone.
with us talking, that y'all have kept up with each other in the chat. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
ignore you guys, but it's a little hard to keep up with the chat and try to.
Mhm. Have a good discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But
Crystal said, someone I watched said that blocking could take a project from homemade to handmade, and it stuck with me, but I don't block always. Well, not all projects have to be blocked.
no, they don't.
Um,
No. If you're making like a blanket, you don't necessarily have to block a
No.
big old blanket. You just
Mm-mm.
don't. You can throw it in the washing machine, and when it's done in the washer and your washer has hung all the water out of it, it comes out, it's just damp. It's just
Yeah.
damp, barely. Take that thing and put it on the bed. Lay
Yeah.
it, pull your covers up, lay it on the bed, take your hands and just spread it out. Spread it out, smooth it out, pull your stitches out and hold them just a second. If they're like the flowers pointing that way, pull them the way
Mm-hmm.
they're supposed to go. Pull them a little bit and just
Yep.
kind of pat them till they get where you want them. Make it lay down, make it pretty, stretch it out, and just leave it. Just
Mm-hmm.
leave it.
Yep.
You put it there early in the morning. It's liable to be dry before bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you turn on the ceiling fan. Pull the cord, turn the fan on,
Oh
let it
yeah.
blow down on it. It's gonna
Oh
be dry
yes.
before bedtime.
I've used the ceiling fan as my dryer
Mm.
many, many times.
Many times, yes,
Yeah.
many times. You don't have to block anything. But there
Mm-hmm.
again, you can block like that.
Yep.
Put your towels down. Once you wet whatever you're gonna block,
Mm-hmm.
put towels on the bed.
Yep.
Now this is after you've wet, say a shawl. You wet it, soak it, whatever, and you get it up. You let the water go out of it, and you do this gently, very gently. Squeeze the water out. Don't do it like that because you're
Mm.
going to stretch all your yarn flat
Yeah.
down by the plate. Just gently squeeze, gently squeeze. Then take your shawl, lay it on a towel, a fresh towel, lay it on it, roll it up in a log, then squeeze it again, squeeze it real good
Mm-hmm.
while it's in that towel. Lay it down, step on it. I mean, step on it,
Yeah,
literally.
because it's in the towel. You're not going to get it
It's
dirty.
not hurting it, and you're not going to get it dirty. Step on it. You're squeezing the remainder of the water out, and you'll be surprised when you unroll it how wet that towel is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And how?
Then you take your shawl, you do the same thing. Put towels on the bed, spread them out. Take your shawl or whatever you're going to have, doily, doesn't matter. Put it on there, stretch it out with your fingers like you want to do. And you can still take pins,
Mm-hmm.
the little T pins.
Yeah.
They're shaped like the letter T. And you can put it in the end that's supposed to be pointing, on the bottom of your shawl or the points of your doily, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out, stick it in.
Yep.
Ain't hurt nothing. Ain't not
Mm-mm.
hurt nothing. And I promise you, when you get done, ain't nobody gonna find that hole in that cupboard.
No.
Ain't nobody gonna see that hole in that mattress because it's pinpointed. It's not. You're not sticking a pencil through it. It's a pen, a little bitty pen.
Yep.
Pull it out if you need to. Put them pins in there to hold it. Let it dry. You don't need expensive blocking that. You don't
Mm-mm.
even have to have those pins. You can use clothespins off a clothesline.
You can also use just regular straight pins.
That too. You can
Mm-hmm.
use that. You got sewing pins,
Yep.
pearl-headed sewing pins. Pull them bad boys out and stick them.
Yep.
They'll work too.
Yeah.
They most certainly will. But uh, the Tiffany says the blocking thing is part of the reason her Sophie has been sitting still. I've been dreading it. I never blocked my Sophie. Not a one, not in any part, ever, ever, on any of them I've ever made.
Well, there you go,
Ever.
Tiff. There you go.
You can do it if you choose to, but I've never done it. Never.
There
And
you
they
go.
look fine. They look fine. You
That's
don't have to
good.
block them. If they're looking bulgy or wavy and they're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be, you can tell if it needs it. You can tell if it needs it. And if it does, try it. If it don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't block that thing if they don't need it.
Mm-mm.
If you're entering it in a fair or a craft show or something like that, yeah, when you get done with it, block it. Throw it in the washing machine, let it wash, swing all
Mm-hmm.
the water out of it because it's gonna be a big one. You don't want to try to do that in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Tiffy
want to put
says,
it
well,
towards.
then I know what I'll be working on this weekend. Thank you.
That's no problem. And
No.
when you finish it completely, throw it in the washer, let it wash, let it sling all the water out of it. Even if you don't do anything but run it through the delicate cycle,
Yeah.
the gentle cycle, you know, it's the water going through the yarn that's going to make it stay where it's supposed to be.
That's right.
That's going to make it lay down flat, make your stitches look more defined. It's
Mm-hmm.
not anything to do with the agitation or the whatever. It's the
Mm-mm.
water that's going through the yarn.
Yeah.
Okay. When it slings all that water out of it, take it like we said, put it on the bed, smooth it out, because there's nothing on that Sophie that you're going to have to pin down.
No,
Nothing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
take your little flower edges and just smooth them
Just lay them
down.
down. Yeah. Use
Smooth
your
them down a
fingers.
little bit. Press them down. Let it dry. I put it on the spare bed now because Sophie might take more than overnight.
Yeah.
And you might not get in the bed. Might be wet. So put it on the spare bed. Or put it in the floor in the den or something, you know.
Yeah.
Spread it out. It won't hurt it. It ain't gonna get dirty. If you vacuum that floor up or sweep it or whatever, spread it out on the floor. Ain't gonna hurt it. Not a bit. So I mean, you can do that. Don't be scared to death when it says block it at this part, block it at that part. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. That is just a suggestion from the creator of the pattern.
Right.
They are basically they're just CYB, you know,
Mm-hmm.
cover your butt.
Yep.
They're doing that to help themselves from having somebody come back and say, why didn't you tell me I had to block this? It's all bubbled up. No. You know, that type of thing. Nobody likes that. Nobody, you know, yes, and you can put it on the clothesline.
Yeah, you could.
Most certainly can. And it will straighten itself out.
Yeah.
Most certainly will. I've done that too. Well, tell us, Maureen. Tell us about the light.
We love the fact that you've all spent your time with us today. We really do appreciate it. If you didn't hit your thumbs on the way in, please be sure and hit them on the way out to help Connie's channel. Well, Christine, thank you so much. She just
Thank
popped
you
in
very
to give you
much.
a thumb. So there you go.
Thank you so much.
As always, folks, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. It could be your light that they are meant to see. So
That's
please
right.
shine on.
That's right. And always be a blessing.
That's
Be
right.
the blessing for somebody, because they could be waiting just on you. We love you guys, and I thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you learned something. If you didn't, I hope you had a laugh. You guys have a great day and a great weekend. Love ya.
Bye.